G'day friends and fans, welcome to Dave Talks Stuff. In today's video, we're looking at ungrateful women. Women who are upset because men did not shower them with wealth and privileged. And of course, it's MgTow, everybody's least favorite toxic feminist. And she's found another collection of toxic people complaining. And first off the bat, we have someone complaining not about what she experienced, but what someone else experienced. Thank you very much for pressing record, hey? Let's press play.
I saw that video of that lady complain about her husband not really doing anything for Mother's Day. Not to put my parents' business out there, but growing up, I never really saw my dad do anything romantic for my mom. I actually never even saw them kiss. All I saw was my mom getting up at like 5 a.m. and going to work and coming home and going to sleep. It was kind of like the breadwinner of the family, and she just lived to like make our family work. Of course, obviously, flash forwarding into my adult life and dating life, I grew up with this idea that men are just incapable of romance. That women kind of have to be the head of the household to just make everything work. Flash forward, I have this boyfriend, probably still to this day one of the sweetest guys I've ever dated. But of course, like my childhood, he was not someone that did a lot of romantic gestures or grand gestures, and I was kind of like the one that wore the pants. I just figured shit out. Today we're just sitting and talking, and he's telling me about his ex-girlfriend, and he's telling me about how she was just so materialistic and she required so much. So much so that he literally went to get a second job in order to buy this girl stuff that she wanted. It's funny because I knew this girl from my hometown, and my friends and I would literally laugh at how much this girl was capable of making men turn out for her. I'm talking about buying her dogs, taking her on trips, like doing the most for this girl. And it was without fail every single boyfriend she dated. How was the boyfriend that was incapable of showing me romance and love able to do that for her? It's not that he was incapable. Men are actually very fucking capable. And they know what we want without us having to ask for it.
Emotional damage.
She is incapable of human emotion and understanding. See, toxic people, particularly greedy people, just don't get it. See, he was likely naive and in the relationship, and she thinks it's quite funny, quite normal for her in a relationship to milk everything off a man, and she, of course, assumed her family life was normal, because that's what accidentally happens to almost everyone. You think your family life is normal until you expand out into the world and find out there's no such thing as normal. Everybody has different experiences. But instead of engaging in a reasonable, secure manner, no, she holds on to her past traumas like they're her comfortable blankie, and she has to take out a greedy and insulting attitude towards men. Why does she have to publicly berate him like a child and belittle him? Because she is advertising what a strong woman she is, and she wants the social credit of all the other strong, capable women who can't go a day without complaining about a man, without needing a man to cough up, to get a second job, to give her everything. Oh, he's capable. Yes, he was capable, until he found out that she was dating other men. And then he met you and thought, I had a normal woman. Guess what happens?
The thing is that I had laid the groundwork with our relationship as the easy girl that didn't require much. I was willing to wear the pants, guide the relationship, figure shit out for him. As opposed to that girl from my hometown that probably had told him, like, I'm not doing shit and you better figure it the fuck out. She had made it very clear that she was a high maintenance woman that required a lot of things. And to this day, I have continued to see this girl date men that show up for her, give her what the fuck she wants, and she lives a blissful life, from what I can tell. She looks like she doesn't worry about a damn fucking thing. So many women have this idea that men are incapable of providing romance, that they have to leave, that they can't figure things out emotionally because men are just incapable of emotions.
Emotional, damn it!
Always gotta see. It's weak people are immature. Immature people are emotion. She's worried about her social standing. She needs constant emotional validation. She's been provocative. She's been harsh. Right? Because she had a past negative experience where her boyfriend couldn't figure it all out. So she has to engage in provocative language, be emotionally damaged, and wear it like a proud badge of honor and point to it and say, look at my emotional damage. Look how stunning and brave I am. When in fact, she's comparing herself to a prostitute. And she wants to live the prostitute's life of thinking it's all going to be easy, it's all going to be roses, date lots of men and they're going to give you stuff. Have you figured out why men walk away from marriages all the time yet? I'm stunned. I have no idea.
And that's not at all the case. We just settle. And unfortunately,
no, you were normal. Then you got envious of a greedy broken garden tool because your boyfriend was not flowering and showering you with praise and gifts and giving him everything and letting you wear the pants.
continue to uplift this narrative that men are incapable, which is just weaponized incompetence. Because what? You think the women that are getting treated well
oh, he's incompetent because he won't guess what you want, because he's not a mind reader who has to get on his knees and flower you, the queen of the Amazon jungle or some other fantastical far-off place where you get carried on your sedan chair and or the natives bow to you and say, "Hail, goddess!" No. And this is the problem throughout history. We have these fantastical stories like Tales from the Amazon or The Court of Cleopatra. See, Maharaja's wife, the Glorious Empress. Now, the interesting thing is the Glorious Empress is based on a real story of a prostitute who became empress. But however, if you read her real life, she was miserable and abused beyond belief. It's a horrible life. And it's believed Cleopatra spared herself a horrible fate as well. I'm not saying that historically men, particularly the Roman Empire, the Inca, Aztecs, many cultures, not just in the West. I mean, Africa has the worst history in the world, but it's such as it's not taught, and what little of it is recorded is glamorized by Africans and Afrocentrics, particularly in America. So they have this glamour that men have to treat them like they were queen. We was queens. Now, the reasons for this behaviour are vast, and often it's misguided power dynamics. It often comes down to she feels that she has to hurt others to feel superior, that she is financially and emotionally motivated to gain any and every benefit because someone else did. This is a combination of greed and envy.
By men, you think those men are special? No, it does not take a genius to know what romance is.
Romance? No, you do not know what romance is. It actually means romification. It's got nothing to do with love. However, it's a corrupted word that has been co-opted. It's actually an emotion, a feeling of excitement and mystery associated with love. Because in the Roman days, when they were talking about romance, where the word comes from, they were talking about romification, the love of empire. It's where it comes from. And I don't care what the academics say, okay? You have to really dig deep, but it's a feeling, it's an emotion of mystery, excitement, glamour. So she's expecting excitement every day. Now, what happens when you... this happens to front part workers, sex workers, particularly guys who go into the porn industry, think it's going to be all poon and cartoon life. Okay? People in the entertainment industry, actors, there's no glamour, there's no excitement. You see the death in their eyes, the death of that childhood excitement. And what happens? They take their anger out on an external foci, like Trump. And she's taking it out on her ex, because she thinks, I'm a genius, he doesn't know what loyalty is. She has none, right? Her friend has none. Her mum's friend has none, right? Loyalty is not just, I don't sleep around. Loyalty is, I don't berate you, belittle you, shame you. I don't argue with you in public. See, there used to be a thing called manners. And, yeah, just like a thing called romance. See, romance is to gain love. Romanticizing the past. See, it's not what you think, lady. It's like if you live every day of excitement, right? One day you wake up and you're riding the Disney theme park ride over and over again. You get off and say, is that all you got? This is why every brand is rapidly devolving into changing its packaging almost every week. Facebook, even Twitter, and many other. Yes, I know I said it wrong. Yes, I know what Elon Musk says. But when you boil down, right, every day the same, when you expect flowers every day, when you expect diamonds, when you expect gifts, when you expect him to figure you out every day, right? That is not romance. That is emotional abuse.
It doesn't take a genius to know what loyalty is or to help.
You have none. Or to help someone out, you ain't helping no one.
Somebody out. Men will fucking serve their friends.
Jealous. 'Cause they're loyal.
You think they're not gonna...
Well, if he didn't serve you, you weren't deserving. Respect is earned, lady, and you are showing none. Plus, you're also advertising your tartars to the narcissists out there who are going to shell you with gifts because that's their flex. Look at me, I could spend $50,000. Hey, CFR, I earn billions of dollars on oil revenue. Yeah, you're chasing the dick percent of men who are grossly immature, grossly irresponsible.
Serve you? And you throwing out coochie?
Yeah, your coochie ain't worth that.
If you allow them, you lay the groundwork that you can just come on in and just chill at home and I'll figure it out for you. Hear from me?
Of course, an emotionally immature child like her is controlling. Are you going to give me everything I want? Mummy said I'm a good girl. I'm a queen. I tell you. I want to be like that. I want to be like Cleopatra on Netflix. I want you to carry me on a sedan chair. Well, you want to be like Cleopatra. The Esper's over there, love.
I did that with every single one of my relationships and
Oh, every single one. What a shock. I bet you every bloke was like this.
You know what? I'm happy.
ended up with a bunch of fucking Dusties. And we'll do.
Oh, Dusties. He was a broke boy. Yeah. Greedy. Greed and wealth demands. It's feeling entitled without considering of how it was earned. Right? Or what it's for. Right? She doesn't realize. Because all she's caring about is transaction-based living. She's putting the coochie out for sale. And you know it.
Do what you allow. They love the path to least resistance. They respect women so much more that
No! They walk away! We are walking away from you garden tools who think you own us. You think you're entitled to our wealth. That is the fruits of our labor. Which you are providing nothing to our care, comfort. What do you provide? I wear the pants and tell you what to do. Oh, I'd go back to work if I wanted that.
expect more of them. They are not.
Yes, that is right. Men are capable of many things, including but we are not boomers. We are not going to go around chanting happy life, happy wife, cope, 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 cope and seed. No, we are not going out. All your boyfriends, love, they went out for cigarettes and didn't come back, hey? And you're now
incapable. They just don't want to fucking do it. They'd love
you don't deserve it. You give nothing. Reciprocity.
to do it for them.
Haven't y'all realized that the best you will ever see a man act is when he's...
What? No, yes, that is romance. You act. See, like, she is such...
Kids, the Royal Order of Sour Grapes for having a raisin for a brain.
Yes, women do it too. It is a natural mask that we wear. We wear the mask of respectability, except for most women these days. But generally still, the vast majority of people wear some sort of respectability, right? But increasingly, you have a TikTok generation of low IQ people who want to call men dusty because they won't put out the dough for the hoe. I made a funny, everyone.
was planning a date, a first date for this girl, and
Again, it's not first hand. What a shock! Clout chasers, man. They're going to tear everyone down and say, look at me. Unfortunately, they do sometimes get a lot of people looking at them. And look at that. So, not many people liked her content. Oh, what a shock.
he enlisted me to help him with the plans. So as we were planning this date, you know, I was giving him suggestions on things he could do, places he can go. And as we were planning, I started to recognize like how anxious he was and how excited he was and almost like stressed out that he was. And I was thinking like, dude, this is your first date. What the heck?
Yeah, because he's watching all his money go out the window for what? A first date? Wow! And he's thinking, hookers cost less than this. And you're absolutely right.
Heck. So finally I said it to him. I was like, dude, this is your first date. Calm down. Like, why
He's not upset over his first date, you imbecile.
are you acting so anxious? And you know what he said? He said, I can just tell that she's the type of girl that I better come correct to or don't come at all.
She doesn't get it. Right? He's telling you, and she's, oh, McQueen, and she's put out all these demands, and he's thinking, you know what? I really want to get with her. Right, so, isn't this contradicting what the last garden tool blabbing about? That, oh no, you just be mean and he'll respect you. Give you all the, lay out the groundwork to make sure that he better be bringing that money in, coochie coochie. And he's like,
You know what? I'm happy.
but deep down he is,
You was crying like a pussy. Yeah.
but guys,
You ain't first, you're last.
I was like, what? So y'all know who to play games with and who not to play games with? Oh. So I immediately thought,
wow, she just suddenly realized that he's got a better girl than you, and you're just jealous.
to myself, Dana, are you that type of girl? Do I invoke that energy?
Emotional, damn it.
And then I thought about the girl because I had seen her on campus, but I didn't know her personally. And I thought about her and I thought, he's right. I can tell that she's the type of girl that don't play games when it comes to guys. Like, she will walk out quicker than sit around with someone playing games in her face.
No, she's playing games because you just figured out, right? She's all that. She's all that. Right, and she can get a dozen guys. She got 3 guys in the DMs, 12 in the Rolodex, and, you know, she probably knows every bar within 2 kilometers, or whatever you want to measure it by, just about, say, 15 to, no, wouldn't even walk 15 minutes. Taxi ride for her for anything more than a minute. So, yeah. College, so we're talking money, right? So we're talking college girls, so every college guy around her is,
You know what? I'm happy.
And when I asked myself that question, that was the start of me doing my inner work and my femininity journey, because
You mean your jealousy?
listen, I was not getting the results that I wanted during that time, and I knew that there was something that I needed to work on within me.
Oh, you were trying to play him, and you giving him your ideal date, so when it all fell, he would come back to you. But what happened to your plans? Oh, no. You got played, sister? Sucks to be you.
So that I can evoke that energy of, you better come correct or don't come at all.
Adam, you do not have that attitude, girl. Look at you, all pretending you're all that. No, you're not. You got the dumbass hair. You got a glow about you that you're just an angry, seething, and you're aging fast. You are. Right? And the more fools you let you ride the merry-go-round, and the more fools you let rummage through your basement, right, the more your ass gets loose and your hips get wide, the more you pulling that, getting your hair pulled and your legs twisted. Your little pearls ain't gonna buy you anything, right? Your social currency's burning at the rate of $60,000 a year or more, right? College is expensive. Your life, you are still attached to a life you never led. As a child, you had this imaginary life all planned out. And what happened?
Emotional, damn it!
So with that being said, ladies, guys know what kind of energy you're evoking. They know who to play games with and who to be serious about.
And you ain't serious. Everybody knows you are a bicycle.
Who to go all out for and who to not spare any expense on.
Because they're worth it in his poor, twisted, delusional lives. Although deep down,
You know what? I'm happy.
he hasn't learned his lesson yet. But soon he'll be.
You was crying like a pussy. Yeah.
Because he'll find out.
You ain't first, you're last.
They know who they can play games with.
Kids, the Royal Order of Sour Grapes for having a raisin for a brain.
Here it is.
Every day for the past 30 years, you high-heeled pit bulls have blamed us for everything. From not being able to get into Harvard to not being able to get into stretch pants.
Yeah. So, Imani Fascist and her collection of all that girls. Ew. But guys, this is why men of color, of all races, of all creeds, of all ages, are saying, boomer, we ain't playing your game no more, boomer, because we all know, right, romance is a false economy built by boomernomics to get you to fork over all your money and then watch it filter away as they take all the money that you spent buying their flowers, buying their gemstones, buying their gold jewelry, buying their fancy clothes, buying their fancy shoes, all the stuff that is not making you productive or happier, and they go out and buy all the big old companies and sit there in their evil castle known as BlackRock and complain the economy ain't doing so well. Well, that's because they took all the money and gave us pennies in the dollar. Here's your shekel. Don't spend it all in one place. Now go out and get a second job because you need 2 shekels for rent tomorrow. They always, every day, they've got to put up something. You know, they can't sit still. They always got to have more. And they're sitting on this huge pile of what? Broken dreams and false promises. Now, toxic behavior can be subtle, even anything. Passive aggressive, like treating you like a child in front of others, mocking your height, pointing out a physical flaw like your pee-pee, or you're suffering, or complaining you're suffering hair loss, dismissing your emotional struggles. Man, the boss was a dick today, and instead of saying, "Go sit down, honey, I'll bring you a nice soothing tea," it's, "Well, you haven't heard about my day. The dishwasher broke again." Yeah, you are the dishwasher. Fix it. There's the mirror. Appearance shaming, emotional invalidation, provocative comments, provoking you all the time, telling you to go ahead because they know the state is going to be. They're telling you, man. They're even lining up their chin. They know, right? They'll take that pain because they're going to get long-term gratification from belittling you, telling you what a violent thug you are. No. This is the harsh reality. They want a world of chaos. They want to bring nothing but chaos. They want to take out all their anger and frustrations out on you. And what happens? They go to the next man and do the same. But see, this worked in the Victorian era when there were way more men than women. But as men dwindled from the War of 1883 all the way through, right? The Boer War, World War One, World War Two, they've been getting rid of us. And then they go, "Why can't I find the man?" Well, your greed. And it's not just the greed of women, see, women believe that there's a patriarchy. If there was a patriarchy, there would be no 19th Amendment. If there was a patriarchy, divorce laws would favour men. If there was a patriarchy, women wouldn't be allowed to leave the home. If there was a patriarchy, men would have Dude Day. We'd have White History Month. We'd have celebrations. Men do like to work, but we would be tailoring and structuring work to our ways, not the ways of the lawyer or the jeweler or the flower shop, the chocolatiers, and the never-ending parade of gift shops and gift wrapping and all the other things that men just go, "That ain't making my day better." I don't say that it's all should go away. Men can like good clothes. Men can appreciate a fine wine or a good cigar. But what men do not do, and this is the thing that is rare in men but not completely gone, is gold digging. And once you see that men are used and abused, and they try to educate us that this abuse is normal, right, with slogans. This is why I think so many men check out of relationships. They only stay for the kids. That is the most common thing I hear. That is exactly it. Once you've had children, you should be planning ushering them out the door. Once the children are old enough, she can be gone. Right? It is, unless she is a house manager, a housewife, and increasingly, they ain't worth it. And then I see every time, and I hear every day about men who want to go their own way. And I'm thinking, that's exactly what I've been doing in my life. I have not missed them. I have not met one that is even worth talking to. The moment they open their mouth, it's a tirade of problems. There's no value. There's no smile there. They're not happy to see you. All they can think about in the back of their mind is what they can get from you. Right? And the moment you're in a relationship, the torrent of disrespect, no. These are all behaviours of a toxic dynamic. But because women have invoked this idea that they are a protected class, that they are above reproach, that they are beyond questioning. So thank you all for watching, and I hope that I've given you a light entertainment and reasons why toxic people deserve nothing from you. So please, if you could take a moment to like the video. Sharing the video helps, of course, but right now, all YouTube cares about is how many people are going to subscribe. If people don't subscribe, they are, as far as YouTube is concerned, they will lower my social standing. This is a competition, and it's unfortunate, but that is what we are dealing with. We are dealing with social media. We are dealing with, and we're dealing with increasingly socialist media. Of course, please support the channel. You can support me on Ko-Fi, Patreon, buy my books, buy my merch. I appreciate each and every one of you. See you in the next video, and bye for now.